It's no exaggeration to say that the only two reasons I'm alive are because the lead surgeon I had, shout out to Dr. Duncan, was basically female Conan, as well as a specialist in my very rare form of cancer. And before going through all of this, I forced myself to become an athlete over the course of 8 years. Physical fitness saved my life, and it can for you too. Don't wait. Whether you take the path of cardio only, calisthenics, weightlifting, sports, or a hybrid program, start today. I have survived chemo and a very low survival rate of cancer and a very rare cancer through this. Get in touch with an officially trained PT like myself or use an existing program. Stay safe, and you too can beat the monsters in your life. Let's begin. Many people, including myself, did not expect me to be here at this point in human history or just being alive. But the fact remains that I am alive, and so it is necessary for me to take count of and be grateful for the reasons that I am here. To begin, I can honestly say that this is not a stoic fantasy. I am not someone who took up a sword and slowly cut his way to life. Yes, my will to live was important, and it was a big factor. However, I'm here because of an incredibly large team of doctors, some of whom I'm still meeting today, who casually greet me with, it's like having an extended family that you didn't know existed and who only met you when you were a baby. And it's just like, oh, hey, I marked you. Oh, hey, I made your kidneys kiss like Barbie dolls. Oh, hey, I played your stomach like a bongo drum. And it's like, oh, wow, thanks, guys. I appreciate that a lot. But I'm always meeting a new person in that medical field and from that hospital as to why I am still alive. I'm deeply grateful to be home now, but the reality is that I'm here because of an incredibly large team of doctors. We are all of us, when we achieve success, we do so because we stand on the shoulders of giants, and I am lucky enough to meet some of mine. So, once again, I don't know if she actually watches this. She seems to have implied several times that she does, but once again, a big shout out to Dr. Duncan and her entire team. A big shout out to Nate Dorover and his team, the various different people who worked on me. I can't thank them enough for their kindness and their hard work. Now, another reason, of course, that I'm here is physical fitness. There are several people who tried to hand wave away my survival as though I'm in my late 20s. I'm like, yes, exactly. I'm in my late 20s. I'm near my 30s. They tried to hand wave this away as though I am young. Okay, well, let's take that back. There are several people who have died despite being the same age as me, so clearly we can negate age as a factor here. The reality is, I trained for 8 years. I started when I was 20, and through a combination of weightlifting, daily cardio, and a number of other things, which most recently also included flexibility training, which I'm grateful that I can include, at least in majority now. I can't do anything that really stretches the core, messes with the core, as I'm recovering during this first month, obviously. If you don't know, I have a bunch of staples in me. We're also dealing with a lot of bloating that needs time to go down and needs time to correct itself, etc., etc. So that's what we're dealing with right now. And then finally, emotional support. The emotional support of my family. I have easily one of the most dysfunctional, some would say abusive, or even, warlike relationships with my family that any human being could ever have. I mean, I really do. But that didn't stop them from being there for me when I needed them when I was having cancer. Because the truth is, this could have been dramatically worse if I did not have family there. And no matter what we might think of each other or what we might argue with each other or whatever, at the end of the day, this core instinct of empathy, exaggerated or fed into a larger, healthier view of each other when we're in pain, this is what allowed for me to survive. I had, I'm not ashamed to admit, my mom was there for me. My mom helped me. I know that's unattractive for a man to say, but yeah, man, that's just insane. I don't know, like that's just I find it hard to often comprehend just how kind and loving that concept was. My dad was there for me. My mom was there for me, and that emotional support structure really allowed me to come home. It allowed me to get through the pain and sorrow of being in the hospital, and being around what was a very not so nice LBJ, hospital is a very dark place. Lyndon B. Johnson Hospital was not a fun place to be. Uh, then, in addition to that, of course, I have to talk about when I had the energy for it, the Discord friends that I had, and all my online friends, including some who I met IRL who became online friends. The reality of having an online support structure, people I can make jokes with, people, especially for an extrovert like me who emotionally recharges through other people. It's so necessary to have people I can talk to, I can joke around with, I can make fun of stuff with. It just makes me so happy. It just makes me so overjoyed to be able to work out problems that way. And it's just something I should and cannot be, again, more grateful for. There is just an infinite number of things and people in my life that I have to be grateful for. Now, the first is my own self discipline and a willingness to work on myself. That's something I can control. But the other is highly circumstantial, which is, people like Dr. Duncan and her team who are willing to practically help people, and then those who are willing to emotionally help people with their health, like my parents and like the friends that I've had, so family and friends. That's just my takeaway. Family, friends, physical fitness. That's the only reason I was able to survive chemo. It's the only reason I was able to survive cancer. It's the only reason I was able to survive the recoup from cancer, which has just been that's just been an emotional nightmare. And whatever treatments come my way in the future, one of the things that they talk about is the idea of eventually wanting to do another round of chemotherapy on me. The reason they want to do that is because this chemotherapy that we did go through was very successful. The tumor, which normally is not really affected by chemo, usually chemo works as a stulting mechanism against cancer. In this case, it killed off 80% of Bartholomew, which is the playful name we gave the very large tumor I had that came out to be 8 pounds. By the time it was taken out, 80% of it had died. It was 80% dead cells. 80% of it was gone. And then the last 20% of living cells is what ultimately Dr. Duncan removed. The reason I call Dr. Duncan female Conan is because she didn't just take it out. She had like this victory destruction of it, which was very cool. So I very much appreciate that. It seems like every good person in my life, from my pastor to this wonderful doctor. They've all been weightlifters. Dr. Duncan was a weightlifter since she was 13. My pastor was a bodybuilder for a very long time. It's just a very helpful thing, I think. It's a marker of good character that a person engages in physical fitness quite often, I think, because this is just a pattern I'm noticing in my own life. But yeah, I think that's the 3 bullet points I have: the various doctor teams, the physical fitness. So, again, if you were a part of any of these doctor teams and you know about this channel, thank you so much. I deeply appreciate that. I have no idea who you are in many cases. I only got 2 names properly written down before everything happened. Obviously, we're still only 1 week out from the surgery, but I deeply appreciate it regardless. The emotional support of my family, I yeah, I just can't. I'm overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed by kindness and by all of that. So that's it. That is my I survived sort of log, to let you all know, to let my audience know that I am indeed alive. I am overjoyed with the fact that I am alive, and I appreciate the fact that I am alive. If anyone would like to hang out, I'm always kind of around on the. For right now, just for this month, I'll be more around online than usual. But yeah, that's about it. Have a lovely night. Sorry for rambling, but that's it. That's what I got. Oh, and if anyone would like some extra workout motivation, even though I'm not allowed to lift any weights, I'm doing something I call Jedi Month. Basically, I have these big stunt sabers. I'm not sure how much they weigh, but they don't have to weigh much. They just have to tire me out as I use them. And so I have a full core routine built around kendo forms, as well as wrist curls, wrist flexors, and wrist hammer curls. And I'm also allowed to do cardio. So I'm still doing full on cardio, and this routine actually started yesterday as me recording this, yesterday being day zero of me being out of the hospital. So if you're looking for motivation, hey, I just had an incredibly huge surgery that caused me to have staples all across my abdomen and have basically all my organs played around with by various different doctor teams. And I came out of it on the other side immediately ready to go get it. I also have ADHD, dyslexia, several other issues that I have heard people use excuses to not exercise. So come on down, don't be shy, and similar to my opening, message, go crazy with the exercises, people. That's all. Okay, I'm done now. Heading out. Have a great night.